Attention Social Security payments December 2025. Major schedule changes you must see. What if your Social Security check didn't show up when you expected it? Millions of seniors could see changes to their December payments, and most people don't even know it yet. These new schedule updates are already confirmed, and if you don't check your date now, you could be left waiting weeks for your money during the most expensive time of the year. Let's break down exactly who's getting paid, when, and why this month is absolutely critical. If you depend on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA benefits, this channel is made only for you. While other channels just chase views and spread half-truth, here we talk about the real updates that actually affect your money, your benefits, and your future. So before we start, hit that subscribe button and stay with me, because in this family, we make sure no senior is left behind or misled. Now let's talk about the confirmed Social Security payment changes for December 2025 and why they matter more than ever. Hey there everyone, this is Sean, and welcome back to the channel. If you're here, it means you're someone who depends on Social Security or you know someone who does. And trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this entire video because we've got some seriously important information to share with you today. We're talking about the confirmed Social Security payment schedule for December 2025. And yes, there are some major schedule changes that you absolutely need to know about, especially with the holidays coming up. So grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's dive right into everything you need to know to make sure you're prepared and you don't miss a single payment during this crucial holiday month. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty details, I want you to understand why this information is so crucial, particularly for December. For millions of Americans, Social Security isn't just a nice little bonus check that shows up in the mail or gets deposited into their account. For so many people, this is the money that pays the rent, buys the groceries, covers the medications, and keeps the lights on. It's essential income that people plan their entire lives around. And when we're talking about December, we're talking about the most expensive month of the year for most families. Holiday gifts, travel to see family, special meals, heating bills that spike in winter, end-of-year insurance payments, property taxes for some folks. The list goes on and on. When there are changes to the payment schedule during December, even small ones, it can throw everything off balance and ruin what should be a joyful time of year. That's why we're here today to make sure you know exactly when your money is coming, so you can plan accordingly and avoid any unnecessary stress or confusion during the holiday season. Let's start by talking about the general structure of how Social Security payments work, because understanding the system is really the first step to making sure you get your benefits on time. The Social Security Administration has a very specific schedule that they follow every single month. And it's not just random. The date you receive your payment is actually tied to your birthday, which might seem a little strange at first, but there's actually a method to the madness. The system was designed this way to spread out the workload for the Social Security Administration and to prevent everyone from trying to access their money on the exact same day, which would create chaos for banks and financial institutions across the country. So here's how it works for most people. If you started receiving your Social Security benefits after May 1997, and you're getting retirement benefits, spousal benefits, survivor benefits, or disability benefits, then your payment date is determined by the day of the month you were born. It's a pretty straightforward system once you understand it, and it applies to the vast majority of Social Security recipients out there. The Social Security Administration divides all the birthdays in a month into 3 groups, and each group gets their payment on a specific Wednesday of each month. Yes, it's always a Wednesday, and there's a good reason for that too, which we'll touch on in just a moment. Now let's get specific about December 2025, because this is where things get really important for your planning, especially with Christmas, Hanukkah, and New Year's all happening this month. If your birthday falls anywhere between the 1st and the 10th of any month, so we're talking about anyone born on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, or 10th, then your Social Security payment for December is scheduled to arrive on Wednesday, December 10th, 2025. Mark that date on your calendar right now. Circle it, highlight it, put a reminder in your phone, whatever you need to do to remember it. December 10th is your day, and you should expect to see that direct deposit hit your account or that check arrive in your mail on that date. This gives you a solid 2 weeks before Christmas to do your holiday shopping and handle any year-end expenses that might come up. Moving on to the second group, if your birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th of the month, then your payment date for December is Wednesday, December 17th, 2025. So, if you were born on any day from the 11th through the 20th, that's your date. December 17th is when you can expect your money to show up. And again, this applies whether you're getting retirement benefits, survivor benefits, spousal benefits, or disability benefits through Social Security. The key is that your benefits started after May of 1997, which is when this birthday-based system was put into place. December 17th is just 8 days before Christmas, which is cutting it a bit closer for holiday planning, but still gives you time to get everything sorted out if you plan ahead. And finally, for the third group, if your birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st of the month, your payment date is Wednesday, December 24th, 2025. Now, this is particularly critical because December 24th is Christmas Eve. That's right, your Social Security payment will arrive on Christmas Eve itself. For many people, this timing can be both a blessing and a challenge. On one hand, you'll have your money available right when you need it for last-minute holiday expenses. On the other hand, if you were counting on having that money earlier for shopping or travel, you'll need to plan accordingly. Many stores and services have reduced hours on Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day itself is December 25th, which means banks and most businesses will be closed. So if you're in this group, my strong recommendation is to plan your holiday spending very carefully, and don't count on being able to access or use that money on Christmas Day itself. But here's where we need to talk about some exceptions because not everyone follows this birthday-based schedule. This is really important, so pay close attention. If you started receiving Social Security benefits before May of 1997, you're on a different schedule entirely. The Social Security Administration kept people who were already in the system on the old payment schedule, which means your payment typically arrives on the 3rd of each month, regardless of your birthday. For December 2025, if you fall into this category, you would generally expect your payment on December 3rd. That's actually excellent timing because it gives you the entire month to budget and plan for the holidays. You'll have your money well before the rush of the holiday season really kicks in, which can be a huge advantage for planning and shopping. There's another major exception that affects a lot of people, and that's for anyone who receives supplemental security income, which is commonly known as SSI. If you receive SSI payments, or if you receive both Social Security and SSI together, then you're also on a different schedule. SSI payments typically come on the 1st of each month. But here's where December gets interesting. December 1st, 2025 falls on a Monday, which is a regular business day, so SSI recipients should receive their payment on December 1st as scheduled. This is actually great news because it means you'll have your SSI payment at the very beginning of the month, giving you maximum time to plan for holiday expenses. Now, let's talk about why these payments always come on Wednesdays for the birthday-based system. It's actually a pretty smart piece of planning when you think about it. Wednesday sits right in the middle of the work week, which means banks are fully staffed and operating at full capacity. It avoids the Monday rush when banks are dealing with the backlog from the weekend, and it avoids Fridays when banks are preparing to close up for the weekend and might be understaffed. Wednesday gives everyone the best chance of accessing their funds smoothly without technical glitches or delays. It's one of those little details that most people never think about, but it makes a real difference in making sure payments go through reliably. One of the biggest questions people have is whether these dates are absolutely set in stone, or if they can change. The answer is that these dates are official and confirmed by the Social Security Administration. But there are some circumstances where the actual deposit or delivery might vary slightly. For example, if you receive your payment by direct deposit, which the Social Security Administration strongly encourages, you might see the money hit your account a day or two before the official payment date. This happens because some banks process direct deposits early, especially if they receive the payment information in advance. So, if you see your money show up on a Tuesday instead of Wednesday, don't panic and think something went wrong. That's actually just your bank being efficient and getting the money to you as quickly as possible. On the flip side, if you still receive paper checks in the mail, there can be delays due to postal service delivery times. And this is especially true during December when the Postal Service is handling enormous volumes of holiday mail and packages. The Social Security Administration mails the checks so they should arrive on or around the payment date. But weather, holidays, and the sheer volume of mail can slow down delivery during December. This is one of the big reasons why the Social Security Administration really pushes people to switch to direct deposit. It's faster, it's more reliable, it's more secure, and you don't have to worry about a check getting lost in the mail or stolen from your mailbox. If you haven't already set up direct deposit, this is honestly a great time to consider making that switch, especially before we get deeper into winter weather and holiday chaos. Let's talk about planning and budgeting around these payment dates because this is where the rubber really meets the road, especially in December. Knowing when your money is coming is the first step, but actually organizing your finances around that schedule during the most expensive month of the year is what makes the real difference in your quality of life. If your payment comes on December 10th and your rent is due on the 1st of the month, you need to have a plan for covering that gap. Maybe that means keeping a buffer in your checking account, or maybe it means talking to your landlord about adjusting your payment date to align better with your Social Security schedule. A lot of landlords and service providers are willing to work with you if you explain your situation and communicate clearly. The same goes for other bills and expenses. If you know your payment is coming on the 17th, don't schedule automatic payments for the 15th and then stress out about whether the money will be there in time. Plan your bills around your income, and if you can't change the due dates, at least make sure you're keeping careful track so you don't accidentally overdraft your account. Bank fees can eat up a significant chunk of a Social Security payment, and that's money you can't afford to lose, especially during the holidays. December is without question the most expensive month for most people on Social Security. We've got Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, and New Year's Eve all packed into these 31 days. For many folks, that means extra spending on gifts for grandchildren, children, and other family members. It means food for holiday gatherings, whether you're cooking a big meal or bringing dishes to someone else's celebration. It means travel expenses if you're visiting relatives or hosting guests at your home. Heating bills tend to spike in December as winter weather sets in across much of the country. And for some people, December also brings year-end expenses like property taxes, insurance premiums that are due, or charitable giving that you want to complete before the tax year ends. If your payment is coming on December 10th, you've got time to spread out your holiday shopping and expenses. If your payment comes on December 17th, you're working with a tighter timeline, but it's still manageable if you plan ahead. But if your payment is coming on December 24th, Christmas Eve, you really need to think strategically about your spending. You might want to do your major shopping earlier in the month, using money you've set aside from your November payment, or you might need to adjust your holiday plans to fit the reality of when your money arrives. There's no shame in having a modest Christmas, and your family will understand if you explain that your payment timing requires some adjustments this year. It's also worth thinking about January expenses while you're planning December. Your January Social Security payment won't arrive until well into January, following the same birthday-based schedule we've been discussing. So if you've got bills due on January 1st or early in the month, you'll need to plan for that gap. Maybe that means setting aside a portion of your December payment specifically for early January expenses. Maybe it means calling your utility companies or other service providers to see if you can adjust your due dates. The key is to think ahead and not let yourself get caught in a financial squeeze between the holidays and the new year. Now, what should you do if your payment doesn't arrive on the scheduled date? First of all, don't panic. There can be legitimate reasons for a short delay, especially if it's your first payment, or if there's been some kind of change to your account or benefit amount. The Social Security Administration recommends waiting 3 business days after your scheduled payment date before taking action. So, if your payment is supposed to come on December 10th, but doesn't show up, wait until December 15th before you start making phone calls or filing inquiries. This is especially important during December because of the holiday schedule, which can sometimes create brief processing delays. If 3 business days have passed and you still don't have your payment, that's when you need to contact the Social Security Administration directly. You can call their toll-free number, which is 1-800-772-1213, And they're available Monday through Friday from 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening. Yes, the wait times can be long, especially during December when lots of people are calling with questions. But it's important to get the issue resolved. You can also create an account on the Social Security Administration's website at www.ssa.gov, which gives you access to information about your benefits, your payment history, and ways to report problems or ask questions. The online account can be a real time saver compared to waiting on hold, and you can access it 24 hours a day. Let me share something really important that trips up a lot of people, especially during the holiday season. If you recently moved or changed banks, you absolutely must update your information with the Social Security Administration. If they're trying to send your payment to an old address or an old bank account, that payment isn't going to reach you. And fixing the problem after the fact takes time you don't have during the busy holiday season. Anytime you have a major life change like moving, changing banks, getting married or divorced, or anything else that affects your legal name or address, contact Social Security right away to update your information. It's so much easier to prevent problems than to fix them after your payment goes missing. As we wrap up here, I want to emphasize just how important it is to stay informed about your Social Security benefits, especially during challenging months like December. The system can seem complicated, and there are definitely a lot of rules and exceptions to keep track of, but this is your money that you've earned through years of work and contributions to the system. You have every right to understand when it's coming, how much you're getting, and what to do if something goes wrong. Don't be afraid to ask questions, whether that's calling Social Security directly, visiting a local Social Security office, or talking to a benefits counselor who can help you navigate the system. The December 2025 payment schedule is confirmed, and now you have all the information you need to plan accordingly. Whether your payment is coming on December 10th, 17th, or 24th, you can mark your calendar with confidence and organize your finances around those dates. Remember to consider setting up direct deposit if you haven't already. Keep your contact information updated with Social Security, and don't hesitate to reach out if your payment doesn't arrive as expected. This is your lifeline, your income, your financial security, and you deserve to have it arrive on time every time without stress or confusion, especially during the holidays. Thanks so much for watching, and this is Sean reminding you that you're not alone in navigating the system. If this information was helpful to you, please share this video with anyone else who might benefit from knowing these important dates. Your fellow seniors, your friends, your family members who depend on Social Security, they all need this information just as much as you do. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update that could affect your benefits. Take care, stay informed, have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll see you in the next video.